Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you my July dividend income update, and I'm gonna really just kind of get into this as soon as I can because this is gonna be a long one. I made a lot of changes, and I'll go over that a little bit. I made a lot of deletions. I've made a couple additions, and we're on our way to constructing the portfolio that I envision. So with that being said, if you're new here, give me a like, share, subscribe, comment down below. I would appreciate it. I do these monthly dividend updates monthly, and I also do ETF reviews, and I follow a paper portfolio on some alternative income strategies with covered calls, and also QYLD ETF reviews and JEPI. JEPI is going to be coming up soon, a new video coming out on JEPI. So I'm just going to jump right in, and we are going to look at old versus new. And whoops, there we go. So on the right here, this panel is last month's June 30th ending portfolio, and on the left is July 31st ending portfolio. And right off the bat, I'll just tell you what has been deleted in July so far. So far I've deleted Cisco Systems. Cisco Systems. Is it Cisco Systems? Cisco Foods. And I took profit from them. This was in my wife's Roth IRA. Took about a 70% profit on Cisco. CM, which was Canadian Imperial Bank, had about a 20% profit there, and I sold out of that. Coca-Cola, same thing, had about a 20% profit out of that and sold out of Coca-Cola. Wells Fargo, I said I was going to keep Wells Fargo. I thought we were pricing in a 50% dividend cut, and I was fine with that, and I would have kept buying at that point. When they cut the dividend 80%, I had to let them go. That was just a little bit too much of a cut for me, so I let go of Wells Fargo. What else got cut? In the taxable account is where the big changes are. I cut out THW, which was Tekla Healthcare Fund, which is a closed-end fund. I sold out a UTF, one of my favorite closed-end funds, which focused more on infrastructure. I sold out of them. I liquidated my 2 shares of Levi's that was in Webull. And that is it for the deletions. So we look at what was added this month. We'll go up here, and we see we've added almost a share of Prudential. We went from 13 and a quarter to 14 and a whatever that is, an eighth. ExxonMobil, added almost 5 shares of ExxonMobil for the month of July. The sellout of Cisco, Canadian Imperial, and Coca-Cola, some of that went into JEPI. I ended up with 21.681 shares of JEPI. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to link a video and a card up here because I did an overview video on JEPI. PPL, I didn't add, but they paid out a dividend and it dripped me about half a share there. Pfizer, I didn't add anything. Brookfield Property, I didn't add anything. Ventas, they paid a dividend, dripped me about a little bit more than half a share. AT&T, I added, when I sold out of Wells Fargo, I just put that money into AT&T, and now I went from 74.99 shares to 102.312 shares of AT&T. QYLD, we dripped a few shares in the month of July, excuse me. And I also added a few. Added about 33 shares. No, 43. Yeah, about 43 shares of QYLD in the taxable account. New position, MetLife Insurance. I added 10 shares of MetLife Insurance. That pays roughly 4.5%, almost 5% dividend yield there. Another new position is Tyson Foods. They have been going through a little bit of rough patch with the pandemic, and I think they'll work through those rough patches. And I added 10 shares here, actually just on Friday. And another new position, this is Intel. Intel, they beat on earnings, but they delayed their 7-nanometer chips, and the market punished them like crazy. So I've been buying Intel quite heavy here. I've got 25 shares of Intel. And another new position, Microsoft. I was always underweight tech, so now I'm getting into this part where I am a little more comfortable in tech now. And I've been able to pick up Microsoft at right around that $200 mark. So I picked up a couple shares of Microsoft. Let's see, what else have I done? Boy, not a whole lot. Let's see, I don't think I've done a whole lot in the Chase account down here. Did I? I added, no, I got a dividend from Altria Group. We went from 70 shares up to 72.06. I got a dividend from Bank OZK. Looks like that dripped about half a share. Had a small dividend from ELS. That dripped very little. Let's see, what else? Got a Cisco dividend. Looks like it dripped about 1/4 of a share. Went from 33.06 to 33.31. Didn't do anything with Verizon. Leggett & Platt paid a dividend. Looks like went from 14 shares to 14.15187. So why am I doing this? Well, what you're going to find me doing is concentrating on this Fidelity taxable account where I put the new positions in of MetLife, Tyson Foods, Intel, and Microsoft. I will be adding more stocks to that. Why? If you are familiar with my QYLD versus GW covered calls video series, this is where I'm going to start not duplicating, but I'm going to start building that portfolio out, that type of portfolio where I'm going to have about roughly 20 positions of at least 100 shares each. And I'm going to start building that out now so that in 10 years from now, I will have something that looks very similar to the portfolio, the paper portfolio that I'm tracking in that series. So that is what you're going to notice, and that's why I've been reducing the Roth positions and into I'm going to be reducing them into like JEPI, and as soon as some of these other stocks get back into the green, because I'm really underwater on BPYU and VTR, excuse me, I may sell out of those and just put them all into JEPI or into some other dividend ETF and just let that grow. But until I establish the portfolio that I'm going to need in retirement, I'm going to be really concentrating on the taxable side, and I'm not going to be contributing so much. I might contribute some, but not very much into the Roth IRAs. Now, I normally don't recommend people ignoring Roth IRAs, but in my personal situation, I'm going to need a fairly big taxable account for me to retire at age 55 and still and because with a Roth you can't access the gains until 59 and a half, so I'm going to need that income gap there, that between 55 and 59 and a half. So that's what you're going to see, a big difference between from now forward, is me consolidating Roth, adding taxable. So how did the income do? The income done really well this month. And if you'll see, last month I ended up in June with annual dividend income of $1,984.42. And with all the additions and the JEPI, well, the JEPI's kind of throwing it off because I'm not 100% positive of the dividend payment. I just took its last dividend payment and multiplied that by 12. So we'll have to adjust that as time goes on. And it doesn't even show up in FinViz and a lot of financial websites. So that's why you see the big NA right here. But my annual dividend income now is $2,176.78, which is almost added $200 in yearly annual dividend income from ending June to ending July. Now, another thing that I did is I've been selling a lot of cash secured puts. And if you look at, see, we'll go over here. My cash secured puts and covered call income for month ending June was $417.37. And month ending July, we're at $698.25. So just a little under $300 in the month of July for cash secured puts and covered calls. So I've been doing a lot of cash secured puts on AT&T, did one on RTX, a couple other stocks as well. I've been wanting to put out a cash secured put video, but it's a little bit tougher to explain really than covered calls in a sense, but I'll get to that eventually. And that is and I've only been doing this for, what are we in, August? So 3 or 4 months, and I've made almost $700. And that's 32% more, 32% of my annual dividend income. So if you look at that, you combine those two, that is almost $2,900 in annual income so far. Well, this is projected, this is already earned, but you get what I'm saying. If you get into covered calls and cash secured puts, it can really boost your income because, you know, all this money, $700, went into buying stocks. So that could just really accelerate your growth even without putting money in to the account. So that's I'm very happy with that. So as far as the portfolio allocation, so there you go. I'm sorry, current monthly average just off of dividends is $181.40 currently. My monthly 2020 goal was for $200. So we're 10%, 9% there, almost there. And my income goal for 2020 was $2,400 in dividends alone, and we're close to that. And I actually surpassed that if you count cash secured puts and covered calls. So where are we at portfolio allocation? I put JEPI and QYLD in the income pie. I kind of want to pull it out of there and not even have it in this spreadsheet, but it's income, but it throws off because I don't count that. I almost don't count those as equity holdings, even though they are, but it kind of throws off my allocations of my equity stock holdings. So, you know, right now I'm up to 13.2% in technology, which is nice. I'll probably be building that up a little bit more. 13.4 in consumer staples, 14.2 in real estate. That'll probably come down. 11.4% in communications. That could possibly go up because I'm considering putting AT&T in the taxable account as well as the Roth. 3% utilities. I need to get that up. 6.9% in healthcare. I'd like to get that up a little bit too. Energy, 6.1%. I'd like to get that down to about 3%. Financials, 7.4. I'll probably up that a little bit. Industrials at 1.8. I need to up that a little bit. I only have one holding in industrials, and that's Leggett and Platt. So that's it. I hope if you stayed this long, thank you. But there was just a lot going on, a lot of changes, and I'm really excited for the way things are going. And we got our income goals, you know, clearly in sights, and I think we'll crush the 2020 income goal of $2,400 fairly easily. Keep an eye out for the JEPI video that should be coming out midweek, I want to say. I just want to give an update and see, and you know, when they play out their dividend and see what kind of performance they've had and all that good stuff. So if you haven't already, give me a like, share, subscribe. Also in the description below is my Amazon link. If you shop at Amazon, please use that link. If you want to just give me a tip for doing these videos twice a week, it links to a different product that you don't need to buy. It's just as long as you use that link and go and buy whatever you'd like through that link, I get a really small commission for any products that you purchase, and it's at no additional cost to you, which is a win-win. So I hope you enjoy your weekend. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye. I am not a financial advisor. The information contained in this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be investment advice. Please seek a licensed professional for any investment, tax, or legal advice. Thank you.